Yo, welcome to the first episode ever of Tremendous Opinions Podcast. My name is Miles Kilby, and as promised, I have my good buddy and co-worker, Berg Sherbergen. Say what's up to the folks.
What's good people? What's going on?
Berg is a mastermind when it comes to the world of sports. We were just hot and bothered about the Eagles. We're filming this on Sunday night, and he's been a lifelong Eagles fan. Tell him about that, Berg.
My thing is, I'm not that disappointed with the whole loss. I'm glad Jalen Hurts is playing. So he looked good. He did look good. He drove all the way down the field and almost finished the game, but he couldn't. Defense couldn't stop Kyler Murray. So
yep, Cardinals pulled it out. DeAndre Hopkins apparently again had another heroic effort. We wanted to kick off the episode by getting deep into the NBA discussions. I spent all morning checking out what Stephen A. had to say, Gilbert Arenas had to say, a few of these guys, and I came together with a list. Bird, here we go.
Let's do it.
My opinions for the top three finish in the West. I got number one, the Lakers. They retained their spot. They added a few dynamic pieces. I know they're losing a few guys to age, Rondo, but they did add a few pieces. We'll get into that later. Number one, the Lakers.
That's right.
Two, the Warriors. As you can see, I'm Curry in a cardigan right now. We're going to get into that later. Three is the Rockets with a question mark. Depends on if Harden stays or goes.
Out of just the West is what you're saying.
Out of just the West.
Top three.
Is there a team you think I'm leaving out? Clippers,
Denver,
Phoenix
with the
Even if Harden stays.
Even if Harden stays, you don't know how the energy is going to be now with him wanting to leave and things like that. But with Harden, yeah, I do think that they could
be
in the
top
third.
Three.
But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Do you think this is the toughest Western Conference so far? Even after KD's left and he's in the East now? And Russ West is in the East?
Probably. Because most of the teams in the West now are putting up good fights. I mean, who would have thought Denver would have been doing what they did last year?
And Phoenix in the bubble went undefeated and added CP3 in the offseason.
There's
a lot of young teams that are growing in the West.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the three I came up with. Lakers, Warriors, Rockets, 1, 2, 3.
And we still can't forget about Sacramento.
Marvin.
That young team
Fox.
there,
And I gave HB the snub down here on one of these most improved player lists. I didn't put HB. I thought about it, but I think Harrison Barnes is going to have a 20-plus points per game this year.
So you think he's going to be the most improved player?
No, I left him off the list, actually. Here, I'll go ahead and jump to that, and we'll come back to the top three in the East. Most improved players for the year, I got number one, Michael Porter Jr. for your Nuggets.
Okay.
He really went off in the bubble and did something.
Okay, that's right.
For 2 years, he's been struggling with injury. Number two, most improved player, Zach LaVine for the Bulls. He's under the radar. He's a freak athlete, and he's going to be putting at least 18 to 20 shots a game up.
I don't think he would get in the most improved category because I think he's already.
You give him the credit.
Yeah, I think he's already good.
I never hear anyone talking about him.
No, he's underrated. He's definitely underrated, but I don't think he would be in a category of most improved.
Jason Tatum, I put, which if that's your line of thought, but I got him in most improved just out of the volume he's going to receive with no Kimba. Kimba's hurt. Gordon Hayward's gone. They don't have anyone around him like they did. No Scary Terry.
I would more or less think he's gonna have better numbers
Right.
versus being the most
growth.
improved player.
Yeah, the growth in the numbers
Yeah.
opposed to his actual skill level.
Right. His numbers will definitely go up without all of those players.
Let me jump back to top 3 teams in the East. I got Brooklyn Nets coming in hot at number 1. What do you think?
Definitely.
They're the best team in the East,
Yes.
even though they're new together.
Yep.
And that really depends on if Harden can go there, the Sixers, where he lands. If he does land in a team in the East, that could upset the balance in this.
I don't think Harden's going anywhere. Honestly. I don't think Houston Rockets want to let James Harden go.
At this point, with the news and the reports of him being a current day Dennis Rodman,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the GMs. That's what Charles Barkley was talking about the other day. If he's just trying to fly to Las Vegas and party, no one's going to trade any viable assets for him just to take a risk.
That's right.
But at number 2 in the East, I got the Bucks. You think the Nets are better than the Bucks right now?
Yes, I do.
Even with
You got a healthy Kyrie and a healthy KD. That alone, I mean, Giannis is great, but he doesn't have the skill level either one of those guys have. He just has great role players that play with him that make with Milwaukee good. He has the role players.
That's the truth. Chris Middleton can ball in his
Yes.
own. That's about it, though.
That's right.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
I got Sixers at 3. Are the Sixers better than the New Look Hawks?
I think they'll drop. I think they'll drop off.
Sixers?
I think they'll drop. I don't think they'll be as good.
If you were the Sixers, would you trade a package including Ben Simmons for Harden?
Yes, if I was the Sixers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you're the Rockets, you take that trade.
Yeah, you would take that trade.
Okay. Next, out of the top 3 teams on East Conference, or each conference, I have most improved teams over the offseason. Number 1, I had the Hawks, just because they were so bad last season. Before COVID hit, they were 20-47. They added Capella over the offseason, at the end of the season. And then they just added Danilo Gallinari at the 3. So they got Trae Young. They got the young guys, Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter from Virginia. They're growing. They got Danilo starting. They got John Collins, who's proven himself already. And Capella. That's strong. To me, they're like a comparable to a New Orleans Pelicans team now.
Yeah.
After the Pelicans added Steven Adams.
Okay. Yeah.
They're growing. They're moving in the right direction. And the Pelican mention brings me to my number 2 team, Pelicans. They were 30-42 before COVID hit last season in the regular season. They added Steven Adams, and they traded away the Drew Holiday for Eric Bledsoe trade. So,
Okay, I get that.
Brandon Ingram's growing. Zion had 30 the other night.
Brandon Ingram's really growing. He's coming along well.
He won most improved last year.
Right.
So,
As he should have.
Yeah, as he should have. Even though he broke my heart. Did you know that? His high school commitment, he played for Jerry Stackhouse, UNC alum.
That's right, in Kinston.
And he had Reggie Bullock, a UNC player at the time, and Jerry Stackhouse come to his commitment, and he picked Duke in front of their face.
In front of their face.
And that killed me. Why are you going to bring Jerry out there just to tell Jerry to stay home? Jerry, he got stuff going on.
But Kinston is a small town. Like, everybody knows everybody. I wouldn't doubt if they, know each other.
Oh, I know they know each other.
Like,
but if you know you're going to pick Duke, tell Jerry to stay home. Who needs that aggravation? I mean, Jerry sit out there in the hot sun all day in a suit just to pick Duke.
I remember when they did that.
Number 3, most improved teams, the Suns, just for adding CP3. I know they got rid of Kelly Oubre to the Warriors, which is a big pickup for the Warriors.
Big pickup for the Warriors. I
But
like Oubre.
the trade for dropping Ricky Rubio, and that's a good trade for Rubio going back to Minnesota, who drafted him as a young kid. He's back playing with his squad.
Right.
So they got Ricky Rubio, D'Angelo Russell, and Cat with the number 1 draft pick in Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. So It's going to be a really competitive basketball season. That's why I was excited writing all this stuff down on the paper because...
And we're going to have a full season. No bubble.
No bubble.
Okay. Because if COVID's still around...
We got a vaccine already. But that's another topic. We don't... We'll save that for the next episode.
We're not getting into that.
No, honorable mentions for most improved team is the Lakers. Because, I mean, it's hard to improve when you're the NBA champion. You lost to White, but at the same time, you added Marc Gasol. You added Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder and
Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl.
Montrez is huge. Huge pickup. My brother played for Montrez's AAU team. Shout out to Team Trez and Bees. Jumping to Rookie of the Year. Is your early pick Melo?
As of right now, yeah. I like the way that he played. I've never had the opportunity to really see him play. He didn't go to college. Only thing you really get to see of him is little highlight snippets.
And stuff of his dad yelling at people.
Dad yelling at people all crazy.
Talking about Michael Jordan.
But, yes, I do think he's going to win Player of the Year. I mean, Rookie of the Year. And I think he's way better than Lonzo.
He is.
I think he's better than his brother by a long shot.
He is. And it hurts me to be biased, but I'm going to be. I wrote Cole Anthony as my number one for Rookie of the Year. And really, it's not biased because he played LaMelo 2 times in a row. Mm-hmm. And he hit the game winner, one in the second game. And then he had better stats than LaMelo in the second game.
Was that an AAU game or something?
No, it was preseason. It was the Magic against the Hornets like 2 nights ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, they played twice already?
Yeah, they played back-to-back. Yep. Back-to-back. I think they're doing that for COVID just so they don't got to take planes and, less planes. You do a doubleheader like the MLB. Played them, 2 nights in a row. So
Makes sense.
So, yeah, the second game, Cole Anthony hit the floater with like 2 seconds left to take the lead, and they won. And he was like 3 for 3 from 3 in the first half. Cole.
I hope he does well because he really didn't have much to work with the Tar Heels last year.
He didn't, and he got hurt. So I'm glad he went 15th, a good pick. I thought he was going to slip into the later round and go to a better team. Mm-hmm. But it works out for him being alone in Orlando. I mean, they have Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, but there's no real basketball player that's going to be handling the ball. Mm-hmm. You got Evan Fournier, who just gets dropped off on a weekly basis by whoever he's guarding. So you needed Cole, and Markelle Fultz was a bust.
Markelle Fultz was a bust. Even though he's starting to develop a little bit now. He's getting better.
Yeah, after he left Philly, but he's not Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony came in and right away.
He was not a first pick. Didn't he go number 1?
Yeah. I think Markelle Fultz was number 1 pick. Yeah, and fell off.
It looked terrible.
Who's the worst draft pick ever?
That's tough. Because
Kwame. Jordan picked Kwame Brown and then just cussed him out in practice every day when he came back to play for the Wizards.
Or even the big fella. I think he came
Greg
from
Oden.
Greg Oden.
I loved watching him in college.
He was an animal.
He was a freak in college.
Yes.
Him and Michael Conley.
And then went to the NBA, and I don't even think
did nothing.
He played a full season.
Looked like Bill Russell.
Like, jeez. I didn't. I expected him to be something. He was too big and too dominant in college to not come to the NBA and make some noise.
I think his birth certificate was illegitimate.
What?
He looked like 65 years old in college playing for Ohio State, dude. He had gray beard and stuff.
It may be.
On the third, my number 3, Rookie of the Year, James Wiseman. We haven't seen him yet for the Warriors. But we have barely seen a good big with Steph Curry. We saw Boogie Cousins for just a couple weeks span.
A glimpse.
And that was it. we haven't seen a great big. We've seen JaVale McGee.
I mean, but JaVale McGee played his part with the Warriors.
He did. Yeah, he did what he was supposed to.
He played his part with the Warriors.
But would you rather have JaVale McGee or like a top 5 pick come in and play for you?
I definitely want a top 5 pick, but I'm not gonna cry about it if JaVale McGee's my big man.
My point: we haven't seen Steph with a great big man, and James Wiseman could give us something that we've never seen with the Warriors. So if that happens, if he can average 20 or 18 and close to 10 with like 2 blocks, he could win Rookie of the Year easy.
I still think it's gonna be tough for Golden State because the one half of the Splash Brothers is done for the year.
But you got to think, they still got Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, they got Draymond Green, and a top 3 pick coming in that was coached by Penny Hardaway.
Okay.
He's not a dud.
Okay.
This James Wiseman kid, I watched him play last year for Memphis a couple games at the start of the season.
I remember watching him.
And he was a freak.
If he
can get in there. And I was reading an article that said Steve Kerr was saying he can be back by Tuesday to start the season.
What happened?
It was some personal something or another, some personal matter, I don't know. But he said it's likely that he starts Tuesday, so I'm throwing him in there.
We got a couple days.
I don't think Anthony Edwards is going to be able to do much, especially with Karl Anthony Towns. And, I mean, Ricky Rubio is going to be spreading it around like butter, but with Cat getting 25 plus and D'Angelo 20 plus, you don't get your shots.
That's right.
With the Warriors, they're shooting so many 3 balls. Wiseman's going to be there to clean the glass.
Not only that, with a strong, dominant paint presence, that spreads the floor out even more for Steph Curry to burn the house down.
It does. Sophomore standouts. I got number 1, Zion. Did you watch him the other night?
I saw some of it on ESPN.
He is a big Boeing.
I'm going to go with Kobe White.
Hey, I got Kobe as number 3 right here. He led the NBA in scoring the other day.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with Kobe because he's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's a level of comfortability that he needs to get to really start doing this thing.
It's really the same style of basketball because Zach LaVine and those young guys, they got Lauri Markkanen at the 4 and Wendell Carter Jr. at the 5 out of Duke. And they run. They're young.
Exactly.
And that's the same style that Roy Williams had at Carolina that Kobe's comfortable with. Dadgummit. I forgot to put my phone off. But, yeah, I got Kobe on my list. Number 3, I wasn't going to be biased again and have him number 1 and Cole Anthony number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, number 1, sophomore standout, I got Zion just because he dropped 30 the other night. Number 2, I got Ja Morant.
I mean, how can you go against that? He is a force.
Obvious. It's obvious.
He's a force.
And he's getting so many shots.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a sophomore standout. I think he is going to...
All-star.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is Zion. All-star.
I think Zion is going to get it off of his high-flying abilities.
People want to see him.
People want to see him.
He's like the Mike Tyson of the NBA.
Yeah.
They're going to get a lot of TV viewership for the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, he's got to really show me something. I'm really not... I mean, Zion can jump out the gym, you know, do a few things. He can shoot a little bit, but he has not impressed me yet.
Yeah, he's still growing. He got a lot of growth.
He's not impressed me.
But,
I mean, he didn't impress me at Duke, to be quite honest.
He's a man's man in the paint.
He is. But when it comes to winning ball games, it's more than just being man's man. You got to know how to get your team involved. It's a lot to it.
Yeah. But some teams need that guy. And when it comes to that guy, that's the guy you want.
I mean, I think, I'm not hating on him or nothing, but I think he's more of a role player than a leader of a team.
Like a D. Rodman.
Yeah.
He's like Rodman.
He's a role player.
Get in there
but they're trying to make him a superstar leader of the team, and I don't think he's that. I just think he's a role player, like a...
He sells more tickets than Rodman.
Exactly. Selling tickets is cool, but you're talking winning titles. Like, you put him... I think he would be best with... Houston.
Charlotte. Come home.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Him with that young, all of those other young guys down there that ain't really, they don't have a system yet.
Yeah.
Look how long it took the Chicago Bulls, even with Michael Jordan, to get that system down and running it and getting it right.
Yeah.
And we still look at Scottie Pippen now as the sidekick, a quote-unquote role player.
I give Scottie his credit, though. Scottie's a freak.
Scottie is... He was the Kevin Durant of back then.
He's the best sidekick there. Well, I don't know if you would classify Kobe and Shaq as one of them being a sidekick. You can't. That's a two-headed monster. But Rodman was clearly a sidekick. He's the best sidekick ever.
Mm-hmm. Rodman is definitely the best.
Klay Thompson's probably the second best sidekick ever.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. But he's a monster on his own.
I was about to say like Kareem and Magic, but that's a two-headed monster too.
Yeah, that's a two-headed monster with Klay and Steph. They had a super serpent with
they have Medusa in there.
Didn't they? With KD,
State. Yep.
Steph, Klay,
Draymond,
Boogie. That's
nuts. Steve Kerr coaching.
They could have used that team for the daggone Space Jam movie.
I wonder who they did. They got a new Space Jam movie coming out, but I'm not giving them money to go see it. I'd rather go buy the old Space Jam and watch it again.
Nah, I'm probably going to go check it out.
Oh, no. Okay.
Because it's a classic movie.
We watched Jurassic Park the other day. We was in here watching, and old Schmark Bernigans with the dinosaur spit on him in the woods.
Yeah.
That guy was in Space Jam. He got sucked down the golf hole.
I remember.
And Larry Bird, I remember Larry Bird hated him.
It's a classic.
But that's a great casting. Bill Murray, you can't up that, dude. Have an original idea.
But I get him doing a remake. I mean, come on, look at this LeBron we're talking about.
It hurts me.
Arguably the best player to ever play the game.
But dude, Michael, what are you doing out here? He said, I couldn't sleep. Me neither with all that racket you're making. He's out there dribbling the ball. You can't get better. I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, you don't know, man. Like, one of my favorite movies, trilogies, the first three, they were great movies. All equally good. Back to the Future.
Okay, yeah.
Those first three that came out, they were equally as good.
I'm going to look like Doc, the
Doc,
crazy guy when I get old. Yeah.
I love Back to the Future.
I got this out of his closet.
Even the Ninja Turtle movies, the first two were equally as good. The third one, they went off too far and went back in time to some samurai stuff, and it was crazy. But it was crazy.
I guess I'll...
So, I mean, I'm going to...
Yeah, just to judge it and talk crap about it on here.
Right. I'm going to probably... I mean, if they ever open our movie theaters in North Carolina back up...
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. If not, they'll sell it to HBO Max or something. That's what all these people are doing to get their money back.
I want to get back to the old days and buy some land and open up a friggin' drive-through movie.
There was
right now during COVID, and if you open one up right now, you can open.
Yeah.
Just have each car away from each other. You just buy up a big piece of land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was a farm right
boxes
next to the place, so you'd hear cows like during the.
I'm pretty sure anywhere you put it is going to be some farm because you're going to need a lot of space.
Yeah.
You're going to need a lot. I know where it's set, but it's people going to want to drive all the way from Raleigh to go that. It's about 30, 40 minutes away. Mm-hmm. But you put a drive-through up right now, it's going to be full every night. Everybody's going to want to come,
Go check LeBron out and the new freaking Space Jam.
Look at all the movies that were supposed to come out. Like, they were making another Friday the 13th, another
They made a new
Final Destination.
What's the name? Sopranos movie.
Did they?
Yeah.
Final Destination. Like, it's a whole bunch of movies. A new Chucky was supposed to come out. So that's the thing. Because we can't go to the movies right now. But if it came out and we could go to the movies, I would go check it out.
I wonder how they're gonna do it, because the casting was so good, and cause you had Patrick Ewing, you had Larry Johnson, Muggsy Bogues. Mm-hmm. What's the tall guy that bumped his head at the hospital? I had basketball. Sean Bradley.
Yeah.
Sean Bradley. You know, it's a good cast.
But I mean,
they would have to get. Who would you want to see? Who's the Monstars that LeBron got to beat? Steph?
JaVale McGee has to be in the movie.
He's Sean Bradley now.
He's Sean Bradley. JaVale McGee has to be in the movie.
And they're talking to psychiatrists, telling them all, Shaq won't leave me alone. Hey!
I'm pretty sure, and Shaq will probably make an appearance.
Yeah.
That'll make it a good cast. Shaq will probably be the doctor.
Who do you want? It's got to be Kevin Hart to be Bill Murray. They come into the cartoon world and dun 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 dun.
It's got to be Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Got to be Kevin Hart. Either him or I was gonna say Mike Epps, but I don't think he would fit.
Mike Epps can't play basketball, man.
He can't. But Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart's
he's just
MVP of the celebrity game, like 10 times.
Yeah, that's because
he can play ball.
That's because he's so daggone funny. Everybody laughing.
Did you see him throw the alley-oop to J. Cole?
I missed that.
Dude, he throws I think it was a left-handed alley-oop on a break. Like, it was contested. The guy tried to block it. He got it over the guy, and J. Cole comes and flushes the dunk, 2 hands like it's nothing.
Did he really?
Yeah, we'll look that up.
Cold World can play, though.
Yeah.
Big shout out to J. Cole. Fade now. Cold World can play. With the way that NBA is going now, like they gave
trying out for a team for the Pistons.
They gave not Patrick Ewing, but Master P.
Yeah.
A chance.
Yeah.
They need to give him a shot. Like, I guarantee you, he's better.
He could back up D Rose
than 30% of the NBA.
And Grayson Allen.
I think he's better than Grayson Allen. Have you seen him play?
Yeah. He dunked it.
He's better than Grayson Allen.
He flushed the alley-oop like nothing.
With a shot. And he's got a good, clean shot.
Could he do it with the hair, though? The Rasta hair in the way?
Yeah.
His hair is crazy.
That's a real dreads. Real rude boy dreads.
I know.
When you just let him lock up and, you know.
But I saw the videos of him letting him go from the corner.
Mm-hmm.
It was looking nice.
And I seen him do like a 2-step. Just a boom.
No.
He's been really training.
If he makes the Pistons, does that equal Master P? Or go beat Master P?
I mean, shit, he can make the Knicks right now.
Me and you can make the Knicks right now.
You know,
we can put these jerseys on and go down there.
I'm headband, gray hair. I'm out there looking like somebody off of what is it? Uncle Drew.
Oh no, he was at the hardest pick anyone ever seen.
Oh yeah, they're gonna look like it's gonna really look like, what's the name of the movie we were just talking about?
Space Jam,
it's
like a Monstar.
Really like a Space Jam. They go flying and sliding over.
Let's get back to this, man. James Harden. And then we'll leave these people alone. James Harden trade packages. Where's the most realistic place you see him going?
I don't think he wants to go anywhere but Brooklyn or Philly.
But it's out of his hands. Because basically, he's owned by the Rockets. So if the Rockets know he wants to get out, and he's going to leave at the end of his contract, then they would get nothing for him. They would just lose him. So right now, while they still own him, essentially, they can trade him for other assets and get something in return for him, and opposed to just losing him in free agency. So if he's really upset, they need to deal him now.
The thing is, there's several teams. Definitely go to the Knicks, but what are the Knicks going to give up?
Nothing worthwhile.
He would look good down in Miami with Jimmy Butler, but you're probably going to have to get rid of Jimmy Butler.
So, Miami, I know. I put together a trade package for Miami. It includes Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and Jay Crowder. That's not enough.
And you want those role players with him down there.
Yeah, if you're Miami, if you can keep Jimmy and Bam and get James, you could find other players to build in around those three. You have a big three now. I would give up Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and Jay Crowder for James Harden. That means you have a new big three in Miami. And you could pull in... You might can even pull in Dwayne Wade out of retirement with that roster. I've seen crazier things happen.
I don't think Dwayne Wade is thinking about playing no more.
That was reaching.
Yeah.
But you can find role players to come and play with those guys.
I think so too. I just want to see him in Brooklyn though. I want him to.
So with Brooklyn, here's what I wrote down. If they're keeping Kyrie and KD, Brooklyn, the trade package that they could put together: Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, and Spencer Dinwiddie. That's giving up a lot. That's giving up 3
and
starters.
And how many round picks?
I know they have. I did right pick there, so they could put some picks in. But that's losing 3 starters. But at the same time, you have a 3-headed monster.
You got a 3-headed monster.
And you're keeping DeAndre Jordan.
And you still got DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I'm saying. That's where he should be.
And I have that trade package is enough for both squads. That's probably the best package that any team can put together that's reasonable for James Harden. The Suns could put together something. The Warriors could put together something, but that's overkill. They're not trying to get rid of Oubre and Wiggins for Harden. That's crazy.
The Warriors are good. They don't need...
But I've seen the Warriors do crazier stuff. Who thought that KD was going there, or Boogie? Their general management's crazy.
I could see Boogie going, but the whole KD thing, that was just
nuts.
That was KD reaching for a title.
Right. That's the truth. I mean? That's the truth.
That's what that was. So,
as an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, ex-Oklahoma City Thunder fan, that was kind of a stab in the back, because the Warriors are the ones that ended his career with Oklahoma City.
Up 3-1.
Yeah, and then he goes and joins them. But I knew the Thunder were cooked liver after they let James Harden go.
That's it. That was the issue right there.
That's dying a slow death.
That was that 3. They had 3 MVPs.
Yeah, 3 MVPs at once.
At one time.
Yep, and Serge Ibaka and Kendrick Perkins.
That's never happened.
No.
No team has ever had 3 MVPs.
Boy, I'd have to fact check that, but I can't think of one.
Like at one time.
Right.
Only team I could think of is...
I was thinking maybe the Lakers.
The Showtime Lakers.
Kareem, Magic. James Worthy never won an MVP.
He didn't?
No.
I
think he won a Finals MVP.
I knew Kareem and Magic did, but... What about...
Not the Celtics. Dwayne Wade never won MVP, or nor did Chris Bosh.
No, I wasn't thinking about that. I knew Chris Bosh didn't.
I was trying to think of super teams.
Did Ray Allen win an MVP?
No.
Not even at the beginning? I thought he won it.
Nah.
Where was he at in the beginning?
Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay. But you had Steph. But it's how they had him, though.
Young.
You had them all young.
And you drafted all of them.
That's never happened. It probably never happened again.
That's nuts. I was there for quite a few games.
Oh, okay.
Like the year that James Harden won Sixth Man of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I remember there being like a 4 or 5 story beard hanging off of like an industrial building in Oklahoma City. People loved him. It was like hanging off the windows, a big beard outside blowing in the wind. And you see it traveling to the games. They loved him. But the reason he left is Sam Presti, GM of the Thunder, offered Ibaka first. Gave him the max deal to where they couldn't afford to give James Harden the max deal. And he felt offended by that, rightfully so, because he knew he's an MVP caliber player. The Thunder just failed to see that. So he left to prove a point, and that broke my heart.
And he proved it.
He proved it, yeah.
As soon as he got to Houston, he proved it.
Now look at the Thunder. Where are they at?
They're getting ready to be. They're probably going to move them to another state.
Move them back to Seattle.
Yep.
Oh man.
Because that's how it goes, you know. How long they been in Oklahoma anyway?
Well, it started off during Katrina. The New Orleans Hornets moved down there for a year for Katrina when Chris Paul was there, ironically. So Chris Paul played in Oklahoma City for a year, and then he got traded to the Clippers and made his rounds around the NBA and ended up in Oklahoma again.
Because that franchise is going down, man.
Yeah,
it's going down. They need to regroup.
They just traded away everybody. They just got rid of Chris Paul. That's the only player that anyone.
That's why I have a problem with the NBA sometimes, because how did guys like Carmelo Anthony? What took so long for somebody to pick him up?
That's a great question.
With all these teams like Oklahoma City, that's
terrible.
But
Oklahoma City did have him.
They picked him up. They picked him up. But that's why I brought that up. Like, all these other teams, and this man ain't even have a job.
Right.
How did they let that happen? I wish he would have went to the Lakers.
The Knicks. Tell me the Knicks couldn't use Carmelo Anthony right now?
Man, they stupid, man. I am a former Knicks fan.
Yeah, because since they threw Charles Oakley out?
It was going there before they threw Charles Oakley out. Because who's ever running the show with picks and coaching and
Porzingis was nice.
Porzingis was okay. But I mean, you can't just go draft a guy like that and think he's gonna change the franchise or take them to some crazy run. And you got, at the time, LeBron was still in the East.
Yeah.
You know? So you can't just do that. You got to put. He probably wanted to leave because they didn't put nothing around him.
Yeah.
He had nothing around.
That's terrible.
And even with Melo, like, I don't think the Knicks should have ever let Melo go. I think he should have retired a Knick. Like, still playing for them now. They would if he'd been playing all those years for the Knicks, they would probably be good right now.
Man, I'm kind of salty that Melo went back to Portland. I understand it, and I'm glad. It's like an honorable thing to do, but I wanted to see him go to the Nuggets. Go back to Denver with that crazy team.
I wish he would have went to the Lakers so he can get him a championship. I want him to get a championship.
But the one I wanted to go to the Lakers, I don't like Chris Paul. I'll say that in front of anybody. I didn't like him since college. Like, he hit somebody in the nuts one time in college at Wake Forest, like on purpose. And during the ACC tournament or something.
Really?
I just never liked him since then. And I sleep with the TV on. And I'm the new Chris Paul. It wakes me up every night. The glass breaks, and I think someone's coming to get me.
Oh yeah,
I'm the new Chris Paul. That's what I hear in my dreams all the time. I'm the new Chris. And he breaks through the glass.
Oh my God,
that wakes me up 3 times a night. So I don't like Chris Paul, but I wanted to see him go to the Lakers.
To get him one.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder's nice, but Chris Paul's nicer.
what they went and got, Dennis Schroeder,
Montrez.
Montrez and Marc Gasol, they could have went and got
Yeah.
Melo
And Chris Paul.
and CP3.
Yeah. And if anything, that would have got D Wade thinking about getting off the
Now
banana boat.
D Wade would have came back for that one.
Yeah, for the yacht club boys, whatever they're called.
The banana boat.
I don't know.
I think it's the banana boat dudes or something.
I don't know.
Some shit like
That
that.
would be good to watch, though.
Yeah.
With AD. So you'd have Chris Paul, D Wade, LeBron, Melo, AD. With Montrez on the bench and Marc Gasol. Think about bringing Pau Gasol back, too.
Paul wants to get a title
Powell.
with his brother.
That's what I look like when I dunk in pregame warm-ups.
How many titles did Paul get with Kobe?
I think just one.
You sure?
I want to say 2010. I don't know. Don't fact check me on that. I'll look that up later. Brooklyn trading for James Harden. That package that I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We got Karis LeVert, Jared Allen,
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Dinwiddie, and a pick. That's a lot. The Rockets, this is what they would look like. John Wall and Eric Gordon in the backcourt. That's just the point guard option. John Wall backed up by Eric Gordon. Spencer Dinwiddie beating Eric Gordon out at that shooting guard spot.
Okay.
So you're starting John Wall, Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert at the 3, Christian Wood, that guy we were watching the other day
Mm-hmm.
from the Pistons, him at the 4, and then Boogie at the 5,
Mm-hmm.
with P.J. Tucker and Jared Allen on the bench. That's deep.
You don't start PJ Tucker?
Not over Christian Wood.
Big shot, PJ Tucker, the Raleigh boy.
Or maybe, because
But-
you need some points production off the bench that's not spot up shooting. So I could, start
And
P.J. Tucker.
PJ's earned that spot.
And if Christian Wood is on the
earned it.
bench, that's a possible 6-man. Him and Montrez competing for 6-man of the year. If Montrez don't start, he may start for the Lakers, and the Lakers play big ball,
Yeah.
starting LeBron, AD, and Montrez. That's ugly.
Pop Marc Gasol. Is Marc Gasol coming off the bench?
Off the bench, he's getting up there. He's probably like 38, 39.
He gonna still give you 8 to 10 a game.
Good minutes and good fouls.
Yeah.
He's a smart player.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Sixers. I didn't list them as an option. They're not trying to give up Ben Simmons. If they do, it's a risk.
If I was Doc, I would be like, listen, man. You got the opportunity to get James Harden, man. You make something happen. I'm sorry.
You would, but even if you give up, if you keep Ben and Embiid, you could put together a package of Tobias Harris, Dwight Howard, and Danny Green, or keep Danny Green and throw in Seth Curry. But that's still not enough.
Keep Seth Curry. Get rid of Danny Green's.
Danny Green's a champion multiple times over, at every level.
But at the same time, it becomes a time where you're not going to be.
Danny Green won championships with the San Antonio Spurs and Greg Popovich, won a championship in Toronto, won a championship just now with the Lakers, and he was a champion in college. 2009, and he was the only class, him, Tyler Hansbrough, and Marcus Ginyard were the only UNC class to go 4-0 at Cameron Indoor, beating Duke 4 years in a row at Duke.
That's a mean stat.
He's a winner.
That's a mean stat.
He didn't look too good last year, but he could offer some insight to a young guy that you're trying to develop.
Mm-hmm.
Seth Curry's going to play better. Depends on what you want.
I want Seth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I want that fresh because Seth is still young.
I want Seth to go ahead and end up in Charlotte, so when Steph goes there later in his career, they could be playing together with LaMelo.
Now, you put that together. That's the trade you need to make. You need to get both of the Curry brothers back home to Charlotte. To especially as LaMelo starts to get better, starts to grow. We don't know how he's going to take to, now actually living on his own, having his own money, having lots and lots of money, endorsements, to that kind of, can mess with your head and where it affect your game.
Right.
So he's gonna need a mentor.
I think he's been
there.
made for this, though.
No. I'm not doubting his ability, but everyone
Needs that guy on the team.
needs someone like that.
Yeah.
Especially these guys,
Like
these
Moses
kids.
Malone or something.
These kids are like, he's 19 years old, right?
You need a Charles Oakley.
Right.
Yeah.
He's 19 years old. He has no idea of what's about to happen to him the next 10 years.
Yeah. And him and Cody Zeller are worlds apart. Cody Zeller's probably the oldest guy on that.
He's not gonna.
That's not.
He can't.
Yeah, he needs somebody.
No, nothing against Cody Zeller.
He needs Vince Carter, like
he needs somebody like that, Vince Carter or
a superstar that was young, that had to deal with it young.
Yeah, he needs it like that, but not saying. But he may, he's got a crazy pops, so he get out of line. Pops might come through and knuckle his ass up.
Yeah, smack him.
Smack
him around. Yeah, but I think he was made for this. At a young age, he was a social media sensation. He's been huge
because of basketball.
Yeah, remember him as a kid? He was like in 9th grade. He pointed at the half court line and shot it from half court and made it.
Whoa,
dude! In an intense game, he just they're talking smack. He all right from half court like it's nothing. Turned around, put the hands up. The crowd went crazy, started throwing popcorn.
I seen that. I didn't know he was in the 9th grade then.
Yeah, he was young, dude. Yeah, he's a prophet with this.
He's good. I mean, he's showing me a little something now. I ain't gonna just give him that tag just yet.
My last option for a James Harden trade.
Okay.
That may be something I could have overlooked, but I got the Chicago Bulls as a low-key option. They're not a championship contender. James would not be as happy there as he would be in Philly or Brooklyn.
So who do you get rid of? Kobe?
No. The Bulls could put together a package for Zach LaVine, Denzel Valentine, and Otto Porter with a pick.
That makes Houston dangerous, though.
Makes Houston good.
That makes them dangerous.
Look what the Bulls have. The Bulls have Kobe White, James Harden with Garrett Temple backing him up at the 2. Patrick Williams, the number 4 pick from Florida State. He's a freak defensive athlete at the 3. You got Lauri Markkanen. He's like a Porzingis 2.0 with Thaddeus Young backing him up at the 4, and then Wendell Carter Jr. from Duke at the 5. They're a young, growing, fast running gun team. That's the fastest team I think you could put together in the NBA. I mean, the Kings are fast with De'Aaron
That's
Fox.
what I was getting ready to say. Sacramento, man, they run up and down that floor. Even on the video game, it's hard to keep up with them. One of my players.
But with Kobe and James, the other 3 guys starting wouldn't even be 24 years old.
No, I'm with you. That would be a good move. But do you make that move? If you're
Houston?
Yeah.
That's the move to make if you're Houston. Yes. I'd rather have Zach LaVine in that cast than Karis LeVert in his cast. Because then you'd have, John Wall.
Yeah, I would rather be, if I was Houston, I would rather...
Zach LaVine. You'd rather trade for the Bulls.
I would do that because that's a championship caliber team with
John Wall. Zach LaVine. You got...
Otto Porter is a role player, great role player.
Yep, Otto Porter could start at the 3.
He could start at the 3.
Yep.
PJ Tucker.
Yep. And
Boogie.
And Christian Wood off the bench. That's tough.
That's championship caliber team.
And Zach LaVine's your number 1 scoring option? Or John Wall?
Oh, excuse me.
And with Boogie, you can't really run like that.
But John Wall don't care. He gonna go up that floor and push that ball.
Well, Zach LaVine would be scary.
and he throwing it up there to Zach. And Zach has actually developed a jump shot now. Like, he's knocking down threes.
Just because the Bulls aren't a championship contender, they're under the radar. Like, no one's thinking of that trade.
Mm-hmm.
But that could work out the best for both worlds.
Yeah.
The Bulls can get their superstar because they want Zach LaVine to be a superstar. And they want eyes on Chicago, but everyone looks over Zach LaVine for whatever reason. It's disrespectful. And maybe everyone would see that if he's on a superstar team in Houston. The kind of freak show he is.
But I just think he's coming into his manhood now. As you get older, a lot of players, that's when they develop that jump shot. Yep. Look at guys like Vince Carter.
Yeah.
He never shot 3-pointers when he was coming up.
No.
Now he'll knock them down.
Yep. Vince Carter had a beautiful game in college, though. It was a post-up game. He was a small forward that would post up off the baseline cut. So he'd post up and do like the Jordan fadeaway thing, but it was so athletic. He'd jump 3 feet in the air and just hang up there. It looked like Jordan's shot on Elo every time in the paint. He would just hang up there. Yeah, just wait for everyone else to go back down and shoot the ball. It was beautiful to watch. But, all right, that's all the notes I had for the NBA. We're at 51 minutes.
Okay.
You got anything else to say? Any predictions, opinions? Who's going to win the championship? Let's do that.
NBA?
Yeah.
Lakers win again.
Lakers win again. Are they in the finals against the Nets, Bucks, Hawks? Who?
Brooklyn.
But
I'm not going to just leave out the Golden State Warriors just yet.
Dude,
I'm not gonna kick them out that they can't beat the Lakers, because anytime you got a team around Steph Curry, you got a problem.
I want to publicly say I haven't liked LeBron for years, but I'm gonna have to give it to him if he can win this championship, because one, they were in the bubble the longest, them and the Heat. So they had the shortest offseason of anybody. And look, they're getting older. They're not a young basketball team. So in year 18, if he can, off a small amount of rest, if he could win 55, 60-plus games this season and be the 1 seed, 2 seed of the West and make it to the finals, that's a lot. And I'll have to give respect where respect is due, even though I can't stand the guy.
And LeBron's going to play for a few more years.
Yeah. Do you think his son can make it?
He is going to stay in the league to play with his son. He's not leaving until he plays with his son on the NBA court.
That'd be beautiful to watch.
I'll be the first one to say it, but that is what's going to happen. Because you think about it, it's LeBron James. So if they can't manipulate and get his son to his team, LeBron will leave and go to the team he's
right.
at.
That's beautiful. If the Bucks could be forced to sign Thanasis Antetokounmpo just to make Giannis happy, then the Lakers will sign Bronny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put him at the end of the bench. Give him a towel.
And it might be back in Cleveland.
And he might be good.
I think Bronny's good. I think he's ain't gonna be NBA worthy.
He might be a freak.
I think he's gonna be NBA worthy.
That's never happened in the NBA, correct?
It's never happened in the NBA.
It's never happened in the NFL.
It's never happened in a sport.
Yeah, it has.
Who?
King Griffey.
Played with his dad. Sure did.
And Cal Ripken as well.
Sure did. I'll be forgetting about that.
Happens in baseball. Rare.
Baseball's careers.
And it's not as
are so long. It's not so strenuous on your body.
Taxing on your body. That's what I was going to say. You're not bumping.
Like they might play 100-something games, but you think about it. When you're on the dugout, you're sitting there, and then half the time, if you especially outfielders, you're not getting action all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Spitting seeds. Yeah.
So you can last longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's gonna happen. And I think that's the main thing he wants to do. He wants to be the first player to do that.
That would
to
help
be
his
the
legacy
father, to
out.
be the father and son, first father son duo in the NBA.
Even so,
It's
dude,
gonna happen.
he could go on a three-peat, and he could have his son join the Lakers. I'm still not giving him
Because this is
anything
what's gonna
compared to
happen.
Michael Jordan.
Cleveland is gonna continue to be garbage. They're gonna draft Bronny. LeBron is going back to Cleveland.
That's dirty, Cleveland.
Watch.
That's dirty.
They're gonna be garbage.
If they do that, dude. Well, he may like it. He may want to get out of LA.
And I'm gonna tell you this: LeBron James is gonna end up owning the Cleveland Cavaliers.
That's beautiful. That needs to happen.
He's gonna end up owning them. Watch what I tell
Yeah,
you.
that needs to happen. I'd like, because he's gonna want to get out of LA sooner or later. I mean, the wildfires
you
and people
can't,
protesting up and
man.
down the street.
You can't. And from my understanding, he never got rid of that home. He always
I'm
keeps
sure
that
he got a Cleveland
home.
I'm
you know?
sure. With like a tornado bunker in it. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's just loaded.
You got the daggone. If a nuclear bomb go
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
run down there. They got tanks and stuff down
Yeah.
underground and
They
shit.
got a railroad cart under there to ship him to the promised land.
But yeah, that's just my opinion. But I think the Lakers win again. My opinion right now. Now, we got to think about injuries as well. It's early, the season's long. It's early in the year. You know, Anthony Davis, very injury prone, likes to get hurt a lot.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You know,
And not only injuries, you got to be looking out for these young teams.
and then
Some of these young guys are hungry. The Suns, Devin Booker, is going to be a nightmare
He
to
is.
guard. He's going to be getting his all
he's
season.
a nightmare. He's a nightmare. But if you look at the roster of the Lakers right now, you know, they just won a title with what they had, and look the three pieces that they just added.
With
You
Montrez
got
is-
rid of Rondo to get something better.
Dennis.
Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
He's going to give you more points. He's going to
Better
give you
defensive
better
ability.
defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then you got a rim protector / manimal in Montrezl Harrell.
Freak.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you add a grandpa like Marc Gasol, who he's just so damn
He's
big.
going to be
and
teaching Montrez some things, the tricks of the trade that he don't know yet.
that back down that little
Yeah.
Dirk Nowitzki shot, you know?
Dirk
Dirk
Nowitzki.
Nowitzki.
Dig Nowitzki. All right,
yeah.
MVP. Who you got?
Of the NBA.
Mm-hmm. LeBron.
Can't
Steph.
call that one. It's too early to call that because you got so many different people that can be. Because James Harden could end up being the MVP. Giannis can end up being it. LeBron James, Steph, it's too early. You got to see how the season goes.
I'm gonna say it should be Kevin Durant.
Then think about Kevin Durant, yeah.
I would say it's gonna be KD, but no disrespect to KD, they're gonna have a bunch of drama going on in Brooklyn with Kyrie doing all his psychedelic Phil Jackson sage burning and
Nah, I didn't get that. That's the only thing that Kyrie has really done to make me be like, oh, okay, but who am I to
that's what
say? Who am I to say? What he does? Because with the media incident just
Dude,
past week.
If he'd burned the sage and then looked like Magic Johnson, that's one thing. But I saw him have a terrible turnover. I never even had a turnover that looked that bad. He was like, oh, and turn the ball over. You can't be doing dumb stuff if you're going out of your way. And
I agree, but still though,
they're gonna be chomping at the bit and ready to just smack each other by midway through the season.
I don't think so.
You think they're gonna get along and
But
be able
they're
to make
both
it?
too humble of guys. Even though it's obvious Kyrie didn't really like LeBron, you never saw them
Right.
going at it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Kyrie will hold it in.
He's too humble of an individual. Kyrie just wants to play basketball. I don't think he's like Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch just wanted to play football. I don't want to talk, but the burning under the sage thing, I don't even know how they let that go down. Like how he's smoking inside an arena.
Fire code hazard in Boston.
Right, but
yeah,
that was a little different, a little weird for me. But
if you're gonna do
I don't
that
think they're
somewhere,
gonna bump heads.
Do it in Memphis, where it don't matter if you burn down the arena. If you burn down the Boston Garden, that's a different problem.
You don't have.
Don't do that in Boston.
But I think they'll be just fine. And KD, he's just a quiet little. He ain't really saying nothing.
Yeah.
They're both too quiet individuals.
I hope they
because once this is what's gonna happen. Wait, it's like when KD was in Golden State. We all knew him and Draymond Green was having a beef.
Yeah.
But they still played great together.
Yeah. That's the truth.
KD and even Draymond, he's good enough on the court and knows how to put differences aside to win the basketball
game. Yeah.
And KD's one of those individuals. Kyrie is one of those individuals.
Fair enough. I think the Lakers are going to put together a great regular season. But I think there's going to be a surprise in the playoffs. The Nuggets or one of these hungry young teams is going to find a way to do it.
And knock them off.
Yeah. And then it's all...
Early in the playoffs?
Yeah. First, second round. And then it's going to be a dog fight to get to the finals. Because, I say first, second round, I think the Lakers are going to have a 1-2 seed. So they're going to have to play the 7 or 8 seed. But that West is so stacked. Who's that going to be? Is that going to be a Clipper team, a Pelicans team? Is that going to be a Dallas Mavericks team with a healthy Porzingis?
Yeah, we left Dallas out.
Right, but, Porzingis is hurt. They just got Luka.
But he's an animal.
Yeah.
How long is...
much respect to Luka, and we didn't say his name for the MVP candidate.
Yeah, we left him out.
But I wore the Steph jersey on purpose today. Steph is my MVP this season.
Okay.
He was looking like a freak the other night.
He did. He's back in rare form.
He got his cornrows. He's ready to do something nasty.
He's back in rare form. That's why I say the Golden State Warriors, I'm not going to count them out. Not with a healthy Steph Curry on the floor.
And with a good big man.
So, if anybody can knock LeBron off, it's Steph Curry.
Yep. It really depends on how the regular season pans out in the seeding into the playoffs. What's going to happen. But all right, everybody. We are over an hour. That was quick. I need some more coffee. So, until next time, we're going to do a NFL episode next week. We just got hot and bothered in here. It's Sunday when we're recording this, so we were just watching football all day. And, we'll put together episode 2 about the NFL, the rest of the season going into the playoff picture. And go ahead and talk about college football, too, because today's Selection Sunday when we're filming this.
Oh, yeah, we got playoffs coming.
Big time. And Carolina's in the Orange Bowl. So
Carolina went to a bowl?
Yeah, they're in the Orange Bowl against Texas A&M.
Carolina, yeah, I know. They're in the Orange Bowl, and NC State is going to a bowl.
Dude, so it's going to be bumping around here in a couple weeks.
Yep, NC State's going to a bowl.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate you. Until next time.